Tula's kitchen is too cramped for a family of 7 with Phil's cage dominating. The floor is tatty and the silver S&M cabinets just have to go. Tula's idea was to link the kitchen and garden, but that vivid green is a terrible mistake. I'm going to use natural colours and materials in both kitchen and garden to bring the outside in. Tula's use of dark colours has made her hall far too gloomy. I'm going to show her how to create the romantic look she was hoping for with good lighting and the right paint colours.
Finally, I'd like your house keys, because while I'm solving your design disasters, I'm in charge, not you. So thank you very much, and I think we better get on with it.
Thank you.
There's lots to do if we're to turn Tula's vision for her house into reality. Luckily, our team of expert builders is here to help.
Ooh, it's a bit of a putrid colour, isn't it?
It is.
Before we start, Phil needs to be moved to safety.
Oh, he's going to jump. God.
I like the fact that Tula hasn't been afraid to experiment and improvise with her decoration, but it all looks a bit haphazard.
How much, Tula, do you think you've spent on your house?
House decor, not very much at all over the years. Probably in the last 5 years, maximum £300.
I think what's interesting then is how little it takes to actually slash value off your property. Isn't it?
Oh, isn't it?
A bit of paint, a few chains, and suddenly you've lost, tens of thousands of pounds off the value of your property.
When you're doing it, all I considered was that was my taste and that was what I liked. I didn't think about what value it's going to bring to it, or in fact what it isn't.
Yeah.
At the time I couldn't have cared less. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate what you're saying, and I do know, and I have taken heed in what you said.
I hope Tula will pick up some design basics, as she has made some big mistakes on her small budget.
Right, Tula, now we've got to take all this soot off the walls, I think.
Okay.
So, why don't we start?
They're going to be very difficult to get off.
Why is that?
Because you have to twist them.
What have you got on there? Blue tack? I'm very technical, Tula. Look at that. It does work. Although, I must say, I think this whole Gothic thing isn't really working. You're sort of theming here, and I always think that's the worst way you can decorate a place or design a place. So you've just read too many vampire books and watched too many makeover shows and just thought, oh, Gothic, I'll just do it. I think it needs to be sort of more considered and thought about, and less theming and more sort of inspiration. And maybe a little less blue tack.
I want to show Tula that it is possible to create a quirky sense of personal taste, but only if it's underpinned by sound design rules. In her kitchen, she wanted to bring a feel of the outside in from the garden.
The rule when it comes to bringing the outside in is to think about materials and use materials that work as much outside as they do inside.
So I'm going to be using wood in the kitchen and garden.
Oh, do you want to take that?
Tula has spent very little on her house, yet what she has done has left it worth only £420,000, the very bottom of the price range for her street. When revamping your home, the things that devalue it the most are themed rooms. Your fantasy will be most people's design nightmare and expensive to change. Fitting UPVC windows. They might seem practical, but they look cheap and nasty, and people will want to rip them out straight away. When it comes to stripping your rooms, be careful. Removing period features such as fireplaces and picture rails will knock at least 10% from the value of your house. But the worst design crime is pebble dashing. This is a real eyesore and can turn a des res into a no-go zone. We need to brighten Tula's hall. It's a real challenge to get the light and space right in such a narrow area.
What I'm going to do is actually show you how to use strong colours in small dark spaces. This is not the way to do it. I bet you've been gagging to do this since you walked in.
You just don't know. Oh, this is wonderful.
Naomi, it looks white.
It is white.
Is it going to stay white?
Who knows?
If you're going to spend even a little money improving your house, the kitchen is the best place to start, as this is the key room to add value. Although this timber look isn't for everybody, done right, it will suit Tula's strong personality. I'm going to show her that she doesn't need to use vivid colour to create a highly individual look. By running the timber from the kitchen to the garden, it will also tie the two spaces together. With work underway, it's time to give Robbie lessons in the fine art of shopping for lighting.
I have to say, I think you've made the perfect choice.
And more home truths for Tula.
This is actually where you've made the biggest mistake.